Segway presented their newest 1000cc quad with many interesting solutions. And today we are going to make a test of it. Let's go! Hi there, as usual it's me, just a voiceover, you're watching Review Machines, and this is the newest 1000cc quad from Segway Power Sports Equipment. Why is it so interesting? Firstly, comparing with analogs, it's pretty affordable, and then it has several interesting solutions in the construction, so we are excited to review it. Today we'll find out what is interesting by, and then of course make hard tests in various conditions. And it seems we have a lot of things to do. Let's start. Today we have a standard base version of the ATV, which is called LE. It's a simple and affordable, but at the same time it has all the essential options for the utility vehicle. The wheel discs are steel and simple, the headlights are halogen, but also we have here a winch, trunks, protection, passenger seat and so on. Besides, the ATV looks quite brutal, with effective appearance. When we see it for the first time, it's clear. This is a serious quad for serious things. The headlights have a Segway signature design. On the whole, the exterior is reserved and good looking. By the way, how do you like it, guys? Post your comments, please. The vehicle is a full-scale 2-seat quad. The length is 2410 mm, the width is 1259, the height is 1452 mm, the wheelbase is 1455. The dry weight of the vehicle is 518 kilos. In this trim, quad goes with 27-inch wheels and steel discs. The ground clearance is 275. The quad is equipped with power electric steering. There are 3 modes of it: standard, comfort and sport. The seat is comfy and soft. There is a lot of space for tall riders. Even with the stock exhaust, the engine sounds pretty rich. It's a 2-cylinder, fuel-injected, 97 horsepower, 1-liter engine with 92 Nm of torque. The engine works with the CVT gearbox and variator, and of course there is a low gear on the range. Shifting between modes is precise, but fairly stiff. Maybe that's just a new machine thing. Segway always puts safety first. There is a special sensor on the seat. When you get off the quad, it reminds you to put the transmission in park and engage the parking brake. We have every possible transmission option. Full-wheel drive and low gear are obvious. What's more interesting, we have here both front and rear selectable diff locks. All the transmission modes and other functions are controlled with user-friendly control panels. Push the throttle and the quad launches smoothly but very quickly. You can feel the engine's potential right away. In rear-wheel drive, the 92 Nm of torque instantly spins the wheels loose. While all-wheel drive is of course grippier. All the modes engage quickly and precisely. The only thing I miss is a larger icon showing the current transmission mode. The suspension is a standard setup: double A-arms, shocks and progressive springs. The front suspension travel is 185 mm, rear is 220, and all the springs are adjustable. The travels are good, and 275 mm ground clearance is solid, so we can test it right away on the serious lock. Engaging low gear, high power, and it looks like we are slightly hung up on the belly. The real reason is we caught the edge of the fender on a thick road, which is why we got stuck. No big deal, it's a good time to see how the winch works. The winch, by the way, works great and spools pretty fast, so we jump right off and try again from a better angle. Great, what else is interesting here? The screen is large and easy to read in the sun, but monochrome and without fancy graphics. The front and rear comes with sturdy bumpers and racks. The front is up to 40 kilos load, the rear up to 60. There are headguards with the metal bars, and the bottom is protected by thick plastic skid plates. The lighting on our trim includes LED daytime running lights and halogen headlights. As I mentioned before, the light units look pretty good. The passenger seat has a backrest and handles, and it's easy to remove. Under the seat we see access to the air filters. There is a glow box up front with USB and 12-volt sockets inside, plus another glow box at the rear, included with the quad owner's manual and a toolkit. Well, I think we've covered the main features of the quad. Now let me finally take this new machine for a spin. Let's go! As always, I'll test the quad for the very first impressions. And a bit later, a pro rider will show us all the thing can do. First off, the initial punch when you squeeze the throttle is seriously impressive. 1 liter 97 horsepower engine is a serious figure. At the same time, its flexibility is a real pleasure. Acceleration is quick but smooth, no nasty jerks. The engine and variator combo is beautifully tuned. Next, the suspension leaves a really nice impression. You can absolutely rip across a pretty bumpy field without worry. You can even ride sitting down, not standing up. Now I try riding straight across some deep ruts. Here you can really see the suspension work. It uses almost all its travel to smooth out the terrain. So as always with Segway quads, the suspension is a strong point of this machine. I hand over the quad to our pro rider Max, and we continue on asphalt to check the acceleration and top speed. Yes, it can pull heavily, and it already says everything about its acceleration. The quad really launched hard. The Segway hits 100 km per hour in just 7.5 seconds, which is an impressive figure for an ATV. The top speed on paper is 120 km per hour, and we hit that speed. As you can see, we double-check it with the GPS speedometer. And keep in mind, we were going uphill on a slight incline. That's pretty clear. So let's head back to the fields. Under the control of an experienced rider, the Segway reveals its full potential. Max steers across the fields, and it seems he is moving just as fast as an asphalt. Confident control at such speeds comes down to the well-tuned EPS system. There are 3 power steering modes, and for this kind of aggressive riding, Sport mode is recommended. The steering becomes a bit heavier, but you get maximum feedback to stay in full control at speed. If I try to find any downsides, the only thing that comes to mind is that the exhaust heats up the seat a little. It's actually interesting to see just how fast we are speeding at a regular dirt-filled road. As you can see, we are hitting over 100 in some spots. Being able to carry that kind of speed on dirt is all thanks to the excellent suspension work. The road is pretty rough in places, but the quad doesn't feel the bumps. It holds its line perfectly while keeping the rider comfortable. By the way, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that Segway surprises us once again. And it's true, there are some other interesting solutions. The quad is equipped with a T-Box telematics unit with a pre-installed SIM card, which lets the user remotely control the quad through a phone app. Access to all information is provided in real time. Here are just some of the features: the keyless access control, adjustments of EPS and other quad settings, emergency alerts, access to incredibly detailed stats from the machine's life, and also connecting with like-minded riders with a real-time map to create groups for joint rides, mutual assistance, discovering new interesting routes, and other useful functions. Meanwhile, we leave the fields and head into the forest, where hard off-road tests await us. Even in base trim, the Segway comes with all the essential off-road features: low gear, front and rear diff locks, basic protection and a winch. It rolls on universal 27-inch tires. All of this lets us feel confident even on serious off-road terrain. As you can see, the quad handles our muddy route just fine. But if that's still not enough for you, there is also the mud version with 30-inch mud tires and other features. Here, along the road, there is a small forest swamp. We engage low gear and see how our quad handles going straight through it. The main thing here is not to stop, so you don't sink in the soft ground, you've got to keep moving. The big power reserve really comes in handy here, letting you accelerate instantly and deliver excellent traction in the sticky bog. As a result, the quad performs beautifully here. But now let's head to a spot where you'll definitely get it stuck. Our regular viewers might remember this spot. We call it the end. The whole challenge here is that when you exit the water, there is a deep hole with a very sticky bottom and a steep ledge. So far, nobody has conquered this obstacle. Well, now it's Segway's turn to try its luck here. But, as expected, we hit the ledge and get stuck in the clay. The end remains unconquered for now, and meanwhile we start unspooling the winch. By the way, the winch has 2-ton pulling capacity, comes with synthetic rope and spools pretty fast. So after a couple of minutes we are ready to continue our way. Meanwhile, it's time for our favorite topic. Let's talk prices. So the Segway AT10 is a powerful, fast and comfortable machine with great equipment and some new interesting solutions. At the time of making this video, the price of the Segway is $15,000. Well, let's call it today, my friends. Thanks for having a ride with us. Please post your comments what you think of this quad. Consider watching another video about similar vehicle. Stay with us, there will be many more interesting materials here. Bye-bye.